Um, I'm resident of Collinwood. This is my guest Daniel Culver Killenberg. We're here to discuss the Alien franchise. Um, I gotta ask you, Daniel. The in the first Alien, Ripley and Dallas have a conversation about the Doctor, and Ripley sort of grills him about it after they bring the face sucker on board with it's attached to the one guy's face. And she says, how many times have you flown out with this guy? And he says, this is the first time, I think. And she says, what happened to the other guy? And he says, he got sick. So I gotta ask you, do you feel that the other guy really got sick, or do you feel they killed him off?
You know, I didn't really think about that, but that's a good question. I, um, you know, I know this might sound like too simple of an answer, but I think it's possible that he actually got sick, but he died from the sickness.
Yeah, I could see that. Did when you first watched Alien, did you sense the guy was an android?
Actually, to be honest, I actually didn't. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either when I first watched it. I said, oh, that guy, his behavior was strange, but do you think um, everybody's behavior was sort of strange on the ship?
Yeah, I'd say that, but see, when he started acting weird, I thought to be honest, I thought an alien took over his body. I didn't see him being a dysfunctional android.
Yeah, that's a good point because when the face sucker got off the guy, I thought maybe the face sucker was going to jump on somebody else's face. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's what I thought too, actually.
Do you think that we know the android knew like about the mission? He was the only one told. Do you think Wayland Utani um, really just didn't give a shit about any life form but the alien? Honestly,
Yeah, I could see that actually.
because something I want to touch on with like Alien versus Predator that sort of conflicts us a little bit, and I know like Alien 3 sort of does confirm that. And we were talking about Alien 3 last night, and I promise we'll get on that. But in Alien versus Predator, Wayland, who's a lot older in that movie because they brought Lance Henriksen back, actually tries to help the rest of the crew. So it seems like Wayland himself cared about people, but then I guess what I'm asking, do you find it weird that he was portrayed in a different light in the Alien Predator first movie?
Actually, I didn't think about that, but that actually is pretty weird.
Do you were telling me last night you thought that we both thought that Wayland when he appeared was just another clone. How shocking to you was it that he was a human?
Well, yeah, it was actually pretty shocking. I know he said he was human, but I was waiting for them to like when they hit him. I was expecting, like it being revealed that he was an android after all. Like he for some, like I thought they were gonna say like, oh, it's the real him, but he put his body in a robot or something, something like that.
Yeah, I could see that because Alien being science fiction horror, and with sci-fi horror, things get funky and weird. Um, what were your thoughts on Sigourney Weaver coming back all through the Alien franchise?
Well, that was actually pretty good. Because a lot of people don't do that. You know how that goes.
Yeah, it. Sort of reminds me of Jamie Lee Curtis a little bit. Jamie Lee Curtis coming back for Halloween H2O and this new one. But, I would say Sigourney Weaver has been more of a mainstay for the Alien franchise, or been more, I guess, willing to come back, we'll say, than Jamie Lee Curtis was. Do you think that's fair or not?
I'd say it's fair. And actually, I don't know if this is true. This is what I've read though, but apparently she was even planning on being in a fifth Alien movie.
Yeah, that's what Daniel's saying is true. That is correct. Um, Neil Vanderkop, I'm probably just butchered that guy's last name, so I apologize. There was a fifth Alien planned, and not only was she coming back, but Michael Beam or Bame was coming back as well. He was in Aliens. He was the guy that got um, alien acid on his face, and they thought they killed his character off in three, which I thought they did too, in my recollection. But what would if he would have come back? Would you have bought that his character?
That's actually a good question. I'm not sure because yeah, you think he would be dead from that.
Well, here's the thing, Daniel. Have you played Alien Colonial Marines?
Oh no, I actually haven't played that.
In the game, Michael, see, they were sort of taking that storyline from that game. Michael Bame's character, or Beam, whatever, however you pronounce his last name, was it his he they paid him to reprise the character to voice it over, and he agreed. And the story in the game was, how in Alien 3 they open his pod and Sigourney Weaver's character thinks it's him. Well, according to, if you go play Colonial Marines, if anybody goes and plays it, or anybody has played it, Michael Bain reveals that that wasn't his pod. His pod ejected. Now, would you have bought that?
No, that's still a good question. Like, I guess because they said, but to me, it seems more like a retcon than something they planned.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. A lot, if you in Aliens, there's a lot of cool characters. Not just Bishop, but Hicks, and all of them are really cool characters. The Colonial Marines. Um, Bill Paxton, again, he's the only actor to be killed by Terminator, Predator, and Alien. God bless him. Um, he and I actually like the fact that they got him to. By the way, in Colonial Marines, he actually voices Hicks in Colonial Marines in the game, which is cool. But so I always liked that he was a mainstay in the games, and I just think that the fact that a lot of the characters in Aliens were cool, and they figured, well, we need another character from Aliens, so they went with Michael Beam's character. Is there a character other than Ripley you would want to see brought back if they would have did Alien 5?
Um, you know, I know this might sound weird, but I forgot his name, but yeah, the guy we were talking about earlier, that like, I think his name is Whalen. That'd be cool. Bring him back, like actually bring him back as an alien this time. I mean, an android this time.
Yeah, get Lance Hendrickson. I wouldn't mind that at all because he's actually been part of the games too, and it would be believable if he maintained an android. I think the reason they wouldn't know, and this is sort of going to be a factor, his age. His age is he's up there in age, but again, so you'd want him. I mean, I guess you could explain an aged android if you designed it that way. Sure, I wouldn't mind that either. Actually, him coming back.
That's true. Oh, I didn't think about that, but I guess they could say like he survived, but then again, the android thing's more believable. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think now Meryl Streep was actually up for the role of Ripley, and she actually got sick and had to turn it down. How different would that have looked if Meryl Streep would have got that role?
That's actually a good question. I don't know. It would be different because, like, you think of Ripley, you think of, you know, you think of the lady that played her.
Yeah.
And I know her name. I'm just like, it's just kind of a. But for anyone wondering, I do know her name. It's just like her first name's kind of hard to pronounce,
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
I'm bad with mispronouncing. Sigourney Weaver was easier for me than some other names, but I'm not the best at it either. So, what do you think of alien eggs? Do you think? And something I was really wanting to ask you, and I'm glad I got to ask you this. The alien eggs in the first Alien and in sort of the franchise, do you think they only open up when a person is near them?
I was actually wondering that because, like, their eggs are kind of weird, But yeah, it kind of makes you wonder a little bit because, of course, that's the thing too. Like, it seems like they would have been able to give birth, enhance their eggs at some point without humans as well.
Yeah, that's something I was wondering what your thoughts on that were, because in the first one, I mean, we see the eggs and we see the effect, the aliens just cut, the face suckers just coming to life. But do you think, I don't know, do you think the face suckers can sense presence in some weird way?
Yeah, I could see that. Because it is, like, parasitic. I mean, I know that doesn't really mean that, but, maybe with it being a space parasite, it needs to find its prey and all that.
Yeah. Do you, oh gosh. In Aliens, what did you think of Bishop's little knife maneuver when he was taking his hand and Hicks's hand and like taking the knife and like going in between the fingers?
Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Uh,
I've heard of people doing that, but usually they do it on themselves in real life.
Yeah, that's what was. Me too. I've heard that too, and it was sort of weird to see Lance Hendrickson do it. You know, with somebody else. I'm thinking, well, he's just going to do. And when I first thought of that, I'm thinking, well, he's just going to do that on himself. And no, I was wrong. He did it with Hicks. In Alien One, what did you think of Dallas's death?
Um, which one was he again?
Oh, sorry. He was the guy that went in the air vent after the alien in the first one. I know we're jumping around, so I apologize. Um,
Oh, it's fine.
um, he went in the first Alien. He went into the air vent with the flamethrower, and he was looking for the alien after it grew in significant size, and he got killed in the air vent by the alien.
Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting. How'd you like that?
I love it for two reasons. One, the fact the way they shot that, and two, it's a goof up. It's one of the best. It's the most iconic scene in the franchise. One of them. I know there's a couple, but that scene is iconic, and it's a goof up because the guy in the alien costume got stuck in the air vent. That's why I love it. And he was, what it was if you go, when you go rewatch Alien, and we were rewatching. I was actually when you were messaging me about Alien 3, I was watching the original Alien just for fun. And
Oh
when
wow.
when you when you see the alien reaches out its arms like it's trying to hug him because the guy in the costume is trying to hug him. He when they cut it as soon as he opens his arms, and what you don't hear on the end is the audio him saying "Help me, I'm stuck," because they edit that out, and they killed off instead of going back and reshooting it. They just left that in there and left that kill scene that as a kill scene. So that's what I love about it most.
Well, that's actually pretty interesting. Actually, I hate to admit this, but I didn't even know there was a guy in the suit. I just assumed they used animatrons for the, xenomorphs.
They used they did use a guy. I think for the baby alien, I think they used a mixture of a puppet and maybe some remote. I believe. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. I believe that's what they did. What did you think of yeah, that's nothing. What did you think of the alien coming out of the guy's chest in the first one?
You know what's weird is I was actually surprised, but really I shouldn't have been, to be honest, because well, a lot of people probably know this. It's probably why it's probably shocking to people, but that's like an iconic thing in the franchise. But I will admit, even though I knew about that, it still kind of shocked me in the first one.
Yeah, I convinced you to get into when we first discussed this ever. I think it was last year. I said, "Hey, did you ever see all the aliens?" And you said, "No." I said, "Go watch them." And I think it's really cool. You sat down and watched them, man. That's awesome. Um, with Alien Resurrection, did you like its plot?
To be honest, I wasn't too crazy about it, but I didn't hate it either.
Yeah, I I didn't love the plot, but here's one thing I liked. I liked the space pirates. I like the characters of the pirates. I know there's people are going to go back and look at that and go, well, there's a lot of cool actors in there, and yeah, that's fair. Um, but I just like the fact because unlike the previous aliens we're mentioning, this is really the first time they use something outside of Wayland Utani.
That's true. And actually, one thing I didn't like, and I know it's science fiction, so this is kind of nitpicky anyway, but as you know, that's supposed to be a clone of Ripley. Clones are actually not the same exact person. Well, I mean, in real life. Well, I mean, I know we never clone a person, but see, when they clone like an animal, it actually is born like a normal animal, and it has different fur and stuff. But like I said, this is science fiction anyway.
Yeah. Do you think they played the character like I know they said she was an alien, like they trained her after like they made her, cloned her like you said, and she's an alien, she has alien acid for blood and all that. Do you think that they play like even with cloning her that she played the character too close to the original Ripley?
Yeah, I'd say that too, and yeah, that's what's weird too. Like she even thought she was her.
Yeah, I can't. Here's the thing. I can't. And here's what gets me too. I can't buy that she would believe she would be the original Ripley because, I mean, in all fairness, in Alien 3, when I watched Alien 3, even though I do somewhat enjoy Resurrection, to me, when she died in Alien 3, it was over to me from the Ripley character standpoint. Did you feel that way or no?
Well, that's actually how I felt too. And that's what's interesting is I saw Resurrection first, but yeah, because I saw it like years ago. But yeah, like that's what I was thinking too. Like it was a good finale because she threw herself into the lava, and then like the xenomorph baby came out of her chest, and then she killed it with her.
Yeah, I thought that whole final sequence. I know a lot of people don't love Alien 3. I'm with you. I like it more than what other people do. Do I love the entire concept? I don't love the prison concept. I thought that was strange. But cuz I here's the one thing I asked, why would prison I mean, I guess they were sort of born again prisoners. They were trying to redeem themselves or found again or whatever you want to say. I just can't see, they had no, to me, and this is the one big issue I have with it. Other than that, they had no reason to save her.
Oh yeah, that's very true. One complaint I did see though is like people, as you know, they killed one of the xenomorphs with water. I actually saw a YouTuber say like that was stupid because we have water in our atmosphere and stuff. But then again, when I saw the movie, I thought it was stupid that guy said that because it wasn't like regular water; it was like boiling water.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the water. You're right. The water was boiling. And here's the thing too. If you go watch Alien 3 and Resurrection, the aliens swim underwater, but it's just normal water. It's not boiling water or anything. So it sort of preferences Alien 3's kill off that, look, yeah, the aliens can swim, but look, it's not that they're human, it's just that the fact that, look, all things can live and die like similar ways. The alien, yeah, it has acid for blood, but it needs to breathe as well, and the boiling water didn't help its case, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, that's true. Now with the Alien and Predator franchises, do you feel that? And I know this sounds weird because for those that don't know, yes, Alien and Predator are in fact in the same universe. That is canon. Do you feel that Predator? And I probably should ask you this in the other video actually, but do you think Predator kind of gets the short end of the stick of the two?
Yeah, this is something we wanted to bring up today, so I thank you for reminding me of that, and asking me that. Yes, in a lot of ways, and here I'll give one specific, and I mentioned this in our other video. Predator does a great job, Daniel, canoning Alien into its franchise in part two. Alien does not return the favor. It does not even mention Predator. It doesn't show it. It totally ignores it, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't understand either. And yeah, for anyone confused, like I was saying earlier, Alien and Predator are in the same universe, but unfortunately, Alien doesn't really mention that. Now, for anyone confused by that, the reason they're in the same universe is because the studios say they are. Well, the studio says they are.
Yeah, they're both under the same studio, Fox, and when they did Predator, Daniel's right. In Predator 2, starring Danny Glover, at the end, Danny Glover's character goes into the Predator ship, and there's a xenomorph skull. And when I said to you about watching the Predator franchise, like I said in our other video, I was waiting for you to message me. Did you know about the xenomorph skull? I'm thinking, because I knew you would notice it. I knew you'd see it. I'm thinking, I looked at my wife. I'm like, I'm waiting for Daniel to message me.
Oh man, it's kind of interesting. You actually knew that I would message you about that.
I knew you see. I know you notice a lot of things in film, like I do. So I knew you'd see it. I knew you'd notice it, and I just sat there. I was at my computer. I was writing, and then I stopped, and I was just sitting there waiting because you said you were watching Predator 2. It was about that time you typed that, and I'm smiling, and my wife's like, "What are you smiling about?" I said, "I'm waiting for Daniel to notice the Z." I said, "When he gets to the end of Predator 2, I know he's gonna notice that damn xenomorph skull." I said, "Because I know him." I said, "He notices stuff in films." I said, "Wait, and not too long after I said that, you messaged me.
Actually, wasn't I might be wrong, but wasn't Alien versus Predator planned, years before they did it, but it was delayed for some reason?
Yes, you are correct. It was the it's sort of weird because I want to say I was in either element going out of elementary school coming into junior high when Alien versus Predator was originally planned, but you're right, they delayed it for years.
I kind of feel that with Predator, I kind of feel that it's also with the fan base. You know, like for some reason fans don't like Predator as much as they do Alien as well.
Yeah, I get the sense because Alien, even though Alien has action in it, if you go watch Aliens and Alien Resurrection, and then you go watch the prequels as well, only really out of, let's see, three, four, six Alien films, only two really have intense action in it. I wouldn't even say the prequels. The prequels have action, but not intense action. Predator is more action horror, whereas Alien is horror action. I know how that's going to sound to some.
Well, yeah, I can see, people thinking that sounds weird. You know how they go, how they are.
Yeah. Oh god. Do you feel that? Why do you feel Alien never mentions Predator in your opinion?
You know, and I hate to be that guy, but to be honest, I think it's the simple fact that Predator is less popular.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm going to add a little something. The studio, I think somebody got political. I don't know who. I think I agree with you on your point. Yeah, I think Predator is least popular of the two. And I love the Predator franchise. You know this. I love the Alien franchise too. But for me, somebody didn't want it specifically tied in with Alien when they were doing those Alien movies.
Oh yeah, I could see that too, actually.
Do you think we'll get another Alien movie?
I don't know. Like, I hope we do, but the guy was saying I read about that fifth one, but I read that the fifth one was actually canceled.
Yeah, the fifth one was canceled, and then they did. What's funny is Prometheus. Um, Prometheus, the director for Prometheus, was the same guy who directed the original Aliens, and the original Alien movie. Sorry, and he said that Prometheus wasn't an alien movie. He sort of like lied to the audience. And then when everybody saw the trailer, I'm like, that looks like an alien movie. And then, and then after everyone's seen the movie, cat was out of the bag. It was an alien movie.
I can't believe he said that because, like, I actually knew it was a prequel before I even pretty much knew about it because I was looking at, like, alien movies and Prometheus is listed as a prequel, you know?
That's sort of what was weird. He came out publicly too with it, and then when Alien Covenant happened, everybody was sort of making fun of the fact of what he said about Prometheus, and then Covenant ended up sort of not doing well in the box office. So,
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
well, not being as popular as I'll say as Prometheus, we'll say.
It might be the name, too, because that's, like, there's something in Greek mythology called that, too. So, that might have kind of led people as well.
Yeah, I think the problem with Covenant, and there's two problems with Covenant. When you go watch it, if you ever go watch the prequels, Prometheus is well done. I have no problem with Prometheus, none. Covenant, I have two issues with. Number one, the lack of alien use in Covenant. That's number one. Number two, David says he got reassembled by the woman who survived Prometheus. And now he doesn't lie when he says she forgave him, because she did. That's in the first one. But there's a difference between, you know this, Daniel, there's a difference between forgiveness and trusting someone. I can't see her trusting him enough to fully reassemble him.
Yeah, that's actually both good points. I wouldn't see that either, you know.
Yeah. Do you think that... I know Bloody Disgusting said that Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley, was not going to get used in a movie. Could you see Alien being brought back through the success of the game franchise?
You know, I could see that actually. Because yeah, from what I heard, a lot of people like the games, especially Isolation.
Yeah, if you ever pick up Isolation, I've recommended this to Daniel before. It's a high recommendation on my list. I like all the Alien games. I'm guilty that way, but Isolation is the scariest. Simply because you can't kill the alien off.
Oh yeah, that is pretty, scary. I know this probably won't happen because of, different studios, but do you think it's possible that the Thing franchise could actually be included into the Alien franchise?
If I think that would depend on who, like if, see, I think in the long haul, Disney is going to end up selling Alien off. Because again, I can't see them keeping either Alien or Predator. Maybe if I'm wrong, if they do keep it and do something with it, I'll admit that, that. But if Universal buys Alien, then yes.
Now I do know Disney has made, a lot of people might not be aware of this, but yes, Disney has made rated R movies, but see, the thing is, when they make rated R movies, it's kind of controversial,
You're right. During the 70s and 80s, they made rated PG-13 and rated R movies, I believe.
Oh yeah, and actually, I didn't know that until I was in high school. Actually, because one of my teachers had this card where you answer questions. They said one of the questions was, what was the rated R movie Disney made? However, now they've made more, But like I said, people, they made them, but people aren't happy about it,
See, here's something I don't get, Daniel, from Disney's standpoint. And I'm just speaking as a dad again. I don't mind a family company making a rated R movie, because that's all. It's a movie. It's fiction. It's not real. I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Now, it is also complicated because a lot of people don't know this, but Lifetime is actually a Disney company, but it's, a division of Disney.
Do you think it's a division Disney honestly pays attention to?
Oh, probably not.
That's weird, because ESPN is a division of Disney, and for years people have said, what's killing Disney, and everybody said ESPN. And this is why they sort of discipline the people at ESPN the way they do, because they're under Disney.
Oh, I see. Actually, to be honest, Lifetime, it's possible that they started paying attention for some reason, because for those that don't know, Lifetime used to have they used to have these movies where it's oh, this man did this horrible thing to a woman, but usually it's horrible things, like he raped her or something. But now they have dance moms and stuff. So, in fact, I didn't realize it was the same channel. my dad was watching. Well, my parents were watching one day, and they were having like dance moms, and then I saw a thing about Lifetime. It's like, wait, this is Lifetime?
Like, wait, you show that kind of movie? This is under the Disney banner? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it's just really weird, you know. Well, I didn't know about ESPN either, though, to be honest.
The thing of it is, I've said this with Disney, they get hypocritical. So, I know they've said they're not going to do the genre films. I know that's been publicly said. But I'm going to wait and see before I mean, because I got mad when they first announced that, and I wasn't happy. But could you honestly, like, them pulling off Alien?
I don't know. That's actually a good question, because, you know, because I know they own Star Wars now, and actually, to be honest, I've seen Episode 7. I've not seen Episode 8 yet, but I didn't think Episode 7 was that bad, but then again, Alien is, you know, a kind of, even though it's science fiction, it's still like a different ballgame, you know?
I strongly recommend you seeing Episode 8. I have seen Episode 8. I will not spoil it one bit for you. I strongly recommend that one.
Oh, okay. Actually, you know what the funny part is? I actually thought Disney owned Star Wars already before that even happened, before they bought it, because I went to Disney World in 2009, actually, late 2009, and they had Star Wars stuff already. So I thought, maybe they own Star Wars. But apparently they didn't. They just asked permission to do that.
Yeah, you can use something as long as you get the permission. Again, I just hope Disney embraces horror. You know what I mean? Like, they embrace Alien and Predator. But if they're not, give it to somebody who is going to embrace it, I guess.
Now they do, and yes, this is the main division of Disney, I think, but Disney does make the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but those aren't really horror either. The reason I bring those up, though, is they're not horror, but they're more mature than a lot of their other movies.
They have elements of horror in them, though.
Well, that's a good point. And also, a lot of the Tim Burton movies are Disney movies, too.
Yep.
And actually, for those that don't know, there's a movie called Frankenweenie. Now, a lot of people might not say, well, wasn't that made recently? Here's what's weird. There was actually a live-action version in the 80s.
I did not know that.
Yep. And actually, Tim Burton was fired because it turned out, after they were done making everything, Disney said it was too scary for children, which is really weird because it was released, so I don't really understand that excuse.
I don't feel he should have been fired from Disney, but I damn sure feel he should have been fired from the Dark Shadows movie. But that's a silly to me to fire somebody. I think sometimes Disney looks for excuses to fire people.
Well, yeah, that could be. What's weird, though, is then they rehired him, like, a few years later. I don't remember exactly how many, but yeah, for those that don't know, A Nightmare Before Christmas was, in fact, a Disney movie.
Yes, it was. Oh, goodness. And one of the best Disney movies you'll ever see.
Yeah, it's actually funny because, like, there's a debate whether that's a Halloween or Christmas movie. But what's weird, though, is the writer. Yeah, people get that confused. They say, well, Tim Burton said it. No, it was a different guy that said it. But yeah, the different guy said that it's a Halloween movie. But then again, someone made a good point to me. They said, well, that still depends on the person watching, you know.
Yeah, I think as audiences, we all view films differently.
Yeah, in fact, another one is a lot of people say Die Hard is a Christmas movie too. But see, the thing is, the guy who plays the main character, I forgot his name. It's like, he's a well-known actor. That's kind of feels stupid, but yeah, he said himself that he doesn't think it's a Christmas movie. But then again, if you pay attention to the storyline, yeah, they say it's at Christmas time,
Yeah, Bruce Willis plays
Wait, Bruce Willis, yeah.
yeah, plays Detective John McClane, and he's coming from New York to Los Angeles to spend Christmas with his family. So the plot, see the plot of it is he comes to spend Christmas with his family, and terrorists take over his wife's building where she works. So shit just happens to him, and so there you go. That's the movie. I mean,
Didn't Bruce Willis play in some other Christmas movie as well?
Here's the thing. I think three of the diehards were set around Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, I believe they're set around Christmas. I know Die Hard 2 is for sure. I believe Die Hard 3 is. They filmed Die Hard 3 in New York. I actually like Die Hard 3. But do you think if Sigourney Weaver was on board to do another Alien, do you think Disney would listen?
That's a good question. I don't know, because, like, they might make this. I know, they might listen though, because going back to Star Wars Episode 7, like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't, because I'll spoil it if I tell them that. But let's just say Han Solo. Let's just say they listened to what Harrison Ford wanted to do, without spoiling it.
Yeah, I got you.
But it just makes you wonder, though, because then again, they might see it as, oh, well, it's horror, so,
Yeah, I think honestly, hindsight being 2020, do I think Disney will do an Alien movie? I think a lot of factors would have to come into play. I think success of the game franchise would have to be a precedent. Would have to happen. And I think just pressure from the fan base to do an Alien, because I think the way sort of Blumhouse, with Halloween 2018, they got pressured, you know what I mean, to do Halloween, and there was a lot of pressure on them to do it, But with this, the difference is the key big difference is Blumhouse is not a family oriented company. They are primarily horror, and Disney, I think, would have to really feel the pressure of the horror fans for us to get an Alien from them.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, for those that don't know, before they made Halloween, Blumhouse was known for making the Purge franchise.
Yep. They also.
One thing I noticed. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Rook.
Oh, okay. One thing I noticed about Halloween, I almost said Halloween 3, Alien 3, did you notice that it's actually more bloody than the other ones?
Yeah, I did notice they shed a lot more blood in that one than the previous two. I think a lot of the expense went towards the blood effects in that one. I actually liked the Alien 3 being a little, again, if you go watch Alien 3, everything about Alien 3, from the kills to the story, it feels like they're saying goodbye to the franchise.
That is true, yeah. Now, do you think they'll ever actually reboot the Alien franchise?
If Disney does, again, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to have to come from pressure from the fans and success of the game franchise. If there's no pressure and there's not success from the game franchise, I don't think Disney will ever personally do Alien. Would they sell it? and again, I could be wrong, and I hope you know this. I hope I am wrong. Um, my my thing of it is, if they're not going to do it, Daniel, sell it to somebody who wants to do it.
Well, you know what? They could sell it to Universal, because if they sell it to Universal, they could do that thing, the thing with the thing I mentioned, because, Universal owns the John Carpenter version of the thing.
Yeah, they could. Would you want Kurt Russell to come back if they do that?
That would be pretty cool. And before someone says, there's a thing video game. Yes, there is a thing video game, and it is canon, but they never revealed what happened to Kurt Russell's character, even in the game. It's still left a mystery.
Yeah, that's true. I think the ending to the thing is so phenomenal you don't know. And that leaves a lot of doors open with that. And I agree with you. It could, if Universal did buy Alien, I'm with you. It could be connected.
Now, the other guy that was with Kurt Russell, at the end, they said in the game that he died because you find his body, but then again, they can just ignore that because let other movie franchises are doing it, so, why not?
See, I like, again, with games, you know this, video games can be suggestive more sometimes than a movie can be. I'm going to go with the movie version of that ending rather than the game.
That's a good idea. Yeah, like I said, it was only that dude, but then again, you never know. He could have just been unconscious, or maybe the character was wrong. Maybe, like, it's not even him. They just thought it was him.
Yeah, that could be too.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's character, even in the game, still survived, because I guess they wanted to keep that a mystery, whether he lived or not.
I don't blame them because with any character, with any franchise, what are you hoping to do? You're hoping to capitalize on more movies. So I think, if they do another thing, if they ever do a sequel or a follow up, they're hoping Kurt Russell will come back.
That's true. Now, I heard the game is canon, but which I said that can be retconned anyway. But then again, I don't really know why, because most people don't even know they had a video game.
I gotta admit, I didn't play it. I watched my cousin play that, and he's like, "Did you know about this?" I said, "Yeah, I knew about it." I said, "Here's the thing, man." I said, "The game's cool and it looks cool." I said, "But to me, I go by what the movie said."
The game is supposed to be like a sequel, though, which is stupid because it's just called The Thing.
Yeah.
Which they did that twice, actually.
Yeah.
Because the game is a sequel and it's called The Thing, and then the 2011 movie is a prequel and it's just called The Thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I wish they'd stop doing that shit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, with the video game, I guess it's understandable, but then again, it's really not, because people see the thing on the cover and they think, well, that's the video game version of the movie. That's what they're going to assume, They're not going to assume it's a sequel.
Do you think we'll ever get another Alien versus Predator?
That's a good question. I actually hope we do, but I don't think we will, to be honest, because, actually, the Predator, how did the Predator do in the box office?
Not great.
Oh, yeah. Then, yeah, probably not.
Oh.
I was actually thinking it did, but I wasn't sure. I also read that Ripley was in a deleted scene of the Predator.
Yeah, there was actually you're right. Daniel's right. There was a bloody disgusting. I'm gonna have to get the link when we're done here. But bloodydisgusting.com said there was a bunch of alternate endings filmed, but it's not on the DVD, which sucks ass. Ellen Ripley was one of them. Newt was one of them. There was a pod at the end of the Predator. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for anybody in Daniel. There's a pod at the end of the movie, and when they open it, it's a Predator suit that latches on to